I'm pretty sure I haven't covered the k sound before, my phonetic alphabet, but k being only the letter C, of course, which I would rather call the letter k, because it's never to be used as a s sound, as in, the way the English language does. K, it's close, capture, conquer, copy, come, community, cope. Corner, meeting of two ways. It's conformity, you see. Community. It's the third letter of the alphabet in the way the English have stylized their alphabet. Just with 26 letters and, goodness, probably 40 or 45 sounds, I don't know, loads. I've trimmed it down, haven't I? 38 or 39 sounds. And, of course, a strict non-ambiguity, avoidance of ambiguity, to make life simple, especially for kids learning to read and write and spell in particular. But read and write too, of course, therefore. And I wanted to change the norms of behaviour that insist on, well, the way it used to with language. You used to have to speak BBC English or you were lower class in some sense. Or Queen's English, which was, well, I guess it was BBC and a bit more, K, the third letter. Now you think of the religion that's dominated the culture, Christianity, the third member of the Trinity. I think they thought of it as not Jesus, but Holy Spirit. Now the Holy Spirit, interestingly, it's to teach a conformity, isn't it? But it's a conformity to God's values, of course. I say of course, but but it is again a conformity area, you see. These foundational flows is the word that comes to mind, that's in our language and culture, way of life. Historicity, if not indeed our history as well. That's harder to discern. Historicity is what we're presented with, isn't it? To say then community is not in itself necessarily good. You might be a community of thieves, a gang of terrorists, a frightening group of whatever, you see. The conformity of the Holy Spirit, of course, is meant to be a notion of the perfect, as understood by God. His Spirit, indeed, it was fortunate, I would say, yes, blessed, that they saw the Holy Spirit to be so pure it was indistinguishable from God. And I have referred to it at times as, God is Spirit. It's another name for him, not another person. And God dwelling in us is the Holy Spirit. And, well, then, of course, you do get to want to accept the doctrine of the Trinity because, you know, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, says Jesus in the Gospel. So that sounds pretty close to but I think I'm arguing, no, I think even closer. It's all to show you the way. Even calling God Dad it's to show you the way. It's to give you the right connotation and association that you're on firm ground. Seeing God as Dad, loving, kind, not just all-powerful. Well, how about a word like corrupt? Well, it's close, isn't it? I mean, it is it's a conformity to an unconformity, if you like, you know. Are you a nonconformist? No, I don't automatically not conform. I only conform where I understand it's to be right to do so. Yeah. Again, it's to come close to a particular value system, or lack of it, or which is a value system in itself, of course. Well, it's a value system of rejection of conformity, isn't it? Which is a conformity. I can remember when I was at university, I refused to. I wore a shirt, sports jacket, tie. Did I stop wearing a sports jacket? I can't remember. No, I think I wore a jacket. I'm not sure. And I didn't grow my hair long or a beard or anything. And when I left university, I grew my hair long and a beard because I was in a conforming society where they basically didn't. Was I then a nonconformist? Oh, I would certainly have been labelled as such, but it wasn't for the sake of such a principle. It was for... I'm not sure. Well, I think I decided that it was reasonable, much more logical, and to have a beard because one grows a beard. I mean, keep it within bounds. Didn't have a great long beard, you know. And then a moustache. Well, I mean, it saved shaving in the morning. That was reasonable. The long hair. Oh, I've always liked long hair. I know it was on Mum, but I don't see why women should have the priority of long hair. Bit dodgy in Christian circles. Absalom was associated with long hair, and he was not a character that the church would want you to conform to. No. To conquer, my goodness, you come close, don't you? You take it over, you absorb it. Or possibly crush it, but you know. So yes, the sound K. Let me listen to this again. Well, conformity is on my mind. There's a K sound that came. Because it's a beautiful day here in New Zealand. I'm looking across the sun on the sea in front of the balconied building, that house that I'm in of my son. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I should just look out the Anglican church. I was in the library, which was probably the manse, I don't call it a manse, directory of the Anglican church yesterday. Very helpful chap called John, helping me with computing problem. And I don't know, so I checked the Anglican Church out on Google, and I thought, oh, I go along and see if they're, I don't want to be unkind, but as stuffy as I always remember them. Although I did belong to, my wife and I, we belonged to Anglican Church when we were in Liverpool at one point. And a town north of, not far north, but just a bit north of Liverpool called Waterloo. And he was a charismatic minister there. Quite interesting. Yeah. Anyway, that's how I got to the thinking of the curse sound. Of course, we use the letter C, to use the English word for it, name, in the sound ch, because, well, 26 letters is not enough for the number of sounds the English wanted to use, I guess. CH, ch. Whereas really you'd look at it and say, kuh. Kuh. It's not the sound they wanted. But I guess there never was a combination of kuh sounds in words that the English used. So, ch was, well, that's what they chose anyway. Or whether they consciously chose it or it just developed down the ages for some other obscure reason. Yeah, it could be. What we have at present in any situation depends on that history, although we think it depends on the historicity that we have of it. And that can be quite bizarre and peculiar and results in systems that are not entirely rational and consistent with each other and so on. And it's very hard to upgrade our systems because people have become used to what they've got and indeed have a personal investment in what they're used to. It's, change is costly. So we weigh such cost against the possible gains, which are not necessarily that certain, of course, before we embark on, changing speed limits or changing rules of driving on left or right, or calling our currency sterling or dollars, or instead of pounds. Our measurements, whether we call them feet and inches or meters and millimeters and so forth. There are costs involved in the change, and the gains are sometimes great, but usually some sort of snags that one didn't quite anticipate. Not necessarily that invalidate the change, but are there that you didn't expect, The church has come to be the pillar of conformity because perhaps something to do with the aging of people, and that the older people tend to have more power than the young, or at least the very young, and therefore make the decisions. So conformity tends to build perhaps through time, and not necessarily ideally so. And we can end up with some pretty bizarre religion, can't we? So much so that it stifles outreach, because the world just mocks the inconsistencies that they can see blatantly in what's being presented to them. Then of course we get hypocrisy, which tries to hide such things, and absurd theologies that valiantly attempt to harmonize the incongruent and inconsistent. You end up with a soup like the English language. It's quite incomprehensible. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.